It is December 6th, 2019, and this is the 2 a.m. news read on AM 1340, FM 102.1, WLEW.
You're listening to AM 1340 WLEW Bad Axe.
Here are your latest national and international news updates from the WLEW News Center and the Associated Press. From Washington, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says House Democrats will draft articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. That's a crucial step towards a vote of the full House. The articles are likely to mostly encompass Democrats' findings on Trump's dealings with Ukraine. They could charge Trump with abuse of office, bribery, and obstruction. This is the fourth time in history Congress has moved to impeach a president. From St. Cloud, 3 soldiers with the Minnesota National Guard were killed when the Black Hawk helicopter they were riding in crashed. Governor Tim Walz confirmed the deaths of the soldiers Thursday, but their names were not released pending notification of family. The crash is being investigated and preliminary information on the cause of the crash is not being released. The Guard lost contact with the helicopter shortly after it took off on a maintenance test flight from St. Cloud. Minnesota National Guard Master Sergeant Blair Housdens says the helicopter called Mayday about 9 minutes after takeoff. From Jackson, Mississippi, state archives and history officials are considering the University of Mississippi's proposal to move a Confederate soldier monument from a central spot on the Oxford campus to a Confederate cemetery. The cemetery is still on campus, but in a less prominent location. The move would need to be approved by a board that governs Mississippi's 8 public universities. The monument is one of many put across the South more than a century ago. Critics say its display near the University of Mississippi's main administrative building sends a signal that the school glorifies the Confederacy and glosses over the South's history of slavery. From Nashville, Tennessee has put a 53-year-old blind inmate to death in the electric chair for his conviction in the 1991 killing of his estranged girlfriend. Thursday's execution was only the second of a blind inmate in the U.S. since the nation's reinstatement of the death penalty in 1976. Prison officials say Hall was pronounced dead at 7:26 p.m. Thursday in a Nashville prison. He chose the chair over Tennessee's preferred execution method of lethal injection. Hall was convicted of killing Tracy Crozier by setting her on fire in her car. Hall had sight upon entering prison, but attorneys said he became functionally blind from improperly treated glaucoma. And from Miramar, the FBI says 4 people, including a UPS driver, were killed after robbers stole the driver's truck and led police on a chase that ended in gunfire at a busy South Florida intersection during rush hour. An FBI official says both robbers were shot and killed, and the 4th victim was in a nearby vehicle when shots rang out at a crowded intersection in Miramar on Thursday. The incident began about 20 miles south during a robbery at a Coral Gables jewelry store. It was not immediately clear who fired the shots that killed the UPS driver or the bystander. That is a look at your international and national news updates. Stand by for your state and local news updates.
This is the sound of someone correctly installing a car seat. And this is the sound of someone incorrectly installing a car seat. Correctly, incorrectly. Hear the difference? No? That's because installing a car seat incorrectly is terribly easy. So much so, 75% of adults install them wrong. For simple instructions on how to get it right, visit buckleupforlife.org. Ah, perfectly executed.
And now here's a look at your state and local news updates. After multiple crashes on M25 on Monday, many brought on by icy roads, the Tuscola County Sheriff's Office urged drivers to take caution and slow down on icy roads. Drivers are also reminded to significantly reduce speed when they spot police or emergency vehicles with overhead lights. A traffic stop on Monday nearly turned deadly when a vehicle in the opposite lane lost control and slid into a stopped vehicle and sheriff's vehicle. Thankfully, no one was hurt. A full video of the accident can be found on the Tuscola County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. The Village of Cass City is preparing for their annual Christmas in the Village event on Saturday, December 7th. Have breakfast with Santa at the Cass City VFW Hall from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The Cass City Junior and Senior High School will be hosting a craft show from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Be sure to check out the town-wide chili cook-off from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And don't forget to submit ballots for the best chili in town by stopping by the former Antique Mall. The day wraps up at 6 p.m. with a lighted parade on Main Street. Holiday fun starts in the Thumb. For the latest Thumb area news anytime, go to thumbnet.net. That is a look at your state and local news updates. Let's take a look at your weather. Here at the WLEW News Center, yesterday's high was 31 degrees. It has now risen to 32. The humidity is at 83% and the barometer is falling at 29.89.
That was your national, international, state, and local news updates from the WLEW News Center. From the News Center, we turn it over to the Weather Center. Here's precision meteorologist Steve Adamson with your overnight weather forecast.
With the disturbance crossing